Hey guys, welcome back to the Mad Batter. Today we're making gluten-free chocolate cake. The first thing we're going to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Some of the flours and ingredients you will need are sorghum flour, white rice flour, brown rice flour, potato starch flour, and some xanthan gum. You will also need some cocoa powder. Today I'm going to use this special dark cocoa powder. For this recipe you will need buttermilk, and I never have buttermilk just hanging out in my fridge, so I just make my own. So you'll need a 1/4 cup of white vinegar and a 1 1/4 cup of whole milk. Make sure you give it a good stir. We are now going to start weighing out our flours. You will need a 1/2 cup of white rice flour, a 1/2 cup of brown rice flour, a 1/2 cup of sorghum flour, a 1/2 cup of potato starch flour, one cup of cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of xanthan gum, a 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, you will also need to mix this really well, but before you start mixing it, make sure you add a teaspoon of salt, because I totally forgot to add it until after I gave this a good mix. So make sure you give it a good mix once more after you add the salt, if you forget like me. And there's my teaspoon of salt. Now we're going to crack our eggs. You'll need 3 of them. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, your favorite of course, into your eggs. Now we're going to measure out 2 cups of granulated sugar. Now I store some vanilla bean pods in my sugar to make it more vanilla-y, so they're going to be popping up here shortly. Now we're going to be buttering our pan, putting some parchment paper down so our cake doesn't stick. Make sure you get the edges fairly well. Press down your parchment paper, and we're going to re-butter the top a little bit. Now, as an extra precaution, we're going to take some of the same cocoa powder we used in our recipe, and we're just going to sift it around the sides to make sure that it really doesn't stick. Doesn't need to be perfect, but as long as it's pretty much covered, you're good to go. Using your stand mixer, you're going to add 3/4 cups of butter, softened. Then you're going to add in your granulated sugar. You're going to mix this until it's light in color and nice and fluffy. That's going to take about 3 or 4 minutes. This is the light fluffy color that you're looking for. Now we're going to start slowly adding our eggs. We're adding them in one at a time to make sure that they're well combined. Now we need to make sure everything on the sides and on the bottom are mixed in with the eggs as well, so you want to give that a good scrape. Now taking your dry ingredients and your buttermilk, you're going to alternate between the two and add them to your batter. So while we're incorporating all of these ingredients, I want to talk about epidemicsound.com for 1 second, because let's just be honest, we're tired of all of those super boring generic sounds that come with, video editing apps or whatever YouTube's doing with all those crazy sounds. But I need some sick beats for my videos, so head on over to epidemicsound.com and check it out. Now you're going to mix that until it's pretty much just combined. We always want to make sure that we scrape the sides, because you never know what's lingering in the bottom of that bowl, whether it's excess flour or butter or gremlins or, whatever. Now, of course, we always want to check out that nice batter that we just created, so just give it a good stir there. Check out the beauty of that chocolatiness. Now, into our prepare pan, our batter goes. Now we're going to smooth our batter out into all the crevices to make sure we get a nice, good, even bake. We're going to give it a good jiggle just to make sure that it's flattened out. Put this in your 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes. Nice and baked whenever your skewer comes out nice and clean, and you got this beautiful gluten-free chocolate cake. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.